That should have been in Ramsey County, and I don't know why it was in Cook. There's no way it should have been in Cook.
Raises questions.
It raises questions. The main thing is it's being hidden right now. But so to that point, it goes kind of to shenanigans. You know, what is? Have you seen some of shenanigans going on in the race?
Yes, I have. You know, again, a citizen candidate. I went in there, held, head held high, sticking to my morals, and there's a lot of shenanigans, as you put it, have come out in this race. My signs have disappeared. Lots of signs have just been disappearing.
Wow.
We were at a debate the other night at North High, and Mr. Rieger was sitting next to me, and in between questions he was constantly whispering statements in my ear, trying to distract me, negative statements. He actually, in that debate, we were asked by the kids if we would legalize marijuana. And Mr. Rieger got quite upset and even stood up and leaned over me to yell at Nathan Hansen on his answer.
Who's running for state rep in the Maplewood, North St. Paul area.
But I mean, he was that passionate about he would never legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form, even for medicinal purposes. And this is Mr. Rieger. And I got home that night and I'm like, no, that wasn't right, because I read something. He voted to legalize marijuana 3 separate times. He voted for it. So he's telling one audience he'd never ever do it, but yet his voting record says different. He voted 3 times for it.
Well, and that's a surprise. I know Leon Lilly's been pushing for legalization of marijuana, but I've read your stance on that, and I agree with that. So what is your position on that?
My stance is that I believe it should be legalized in small amounts for medicinal purposes only. And who's the government to tell the doctors what they should and shouldn't be prescribing to their terminally ill cancer patients?
Right.
I mean, we have no business doing that.
Right.
And
I would agree. It's the point of the doctors to ease pain in these situations, to not have this suffering going on. And I have brother-in-laws in the industry, a forensic chemist and a physician assistant. I mean, there's pros and cons on this issue either way, but they definitely say, as the weed itself, it has benefits, but as the pill, it has less benefits, but can have different benefits. And weighing that out.
But shouldn't that be the decision of the doctor?
Right. Plus, I think it's just too much. It's costing too much money. I think it should be treated like alcohol, personally. And if you violate somebody else's liberties in the use of using marijuana because you may be less inhibited, then you pay.
Yeah.
And like Connie Iverson was saying,
go see Connie.
Go see Connie, and she'll deal with you fairly and rightly. But the penalty should be there when you harm somebody, not when you're not.
Right.
But here your overall philosophy of governance basically would be more of a limited government style.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Limited government, lower forms of government. The farther back you can kick government to the lowest level possible is usually the best level. They know the most about the situations, and they should take care of it. So if it's all the way back to the school board, or if it's all the way back to the city government, that would be preferred. But there is absolutely a time and a place for state government. And that same goes up to federal. The federal should kick it back to the state when possible, too.
Yeah.
So lowest form is usually the best form of government.
Yeah, one of the issues coming up is voter ID, and there's a heavy emphasis being played in that. Of course, with Dan Severson running for Secretary of State, and you have Attorney General Chris Barden running for Attorney General, which is